Every successful entrepreneur began with a simple act of putting pen to paper and getting started. They'd progressed past the stage of motivation that they had reached when they first started. Their habit, on the other hand, is what allows them to continue to exist. According to Wikipedia, an established pattern of behavior that's repeated regularly and that tends to occur subconsciously is defined as habits. Good habits are wonderful, but bad habits are dangerous because they're so addictive. They can demolish dreams more quickly than you can imagine. Sadly, they take place in your subconscious, which can be quite frustrating. You become a victim of your bad habits in the same way that termites consume wood. They demolish aspirations and, if allowed to flourish, cripple the ability of entrepreneurs to invent new products and services. A problem well stated is a problem half solved, as the eminent philosopher Charles Kettering once observed. Although this quote may apply to bad habits, I'm concerned that it may not apply to good habits. An investigation by CBS News' 60 Minutes found that a majority of people will only give up a bad habit if they have a near-death experience as a result of it. To break a bad habit, you must be extremely disciplined and self-conscious about your actions. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you must eliminate the following bad habits from your life. Number 1. Omnitasking. Even the most powerful computing systems indeed have their limits. If you overburn them with too many tasks, they will come to an abrupt stop. Similarly, you and your abilities as a creative individual may be described as follows. Although you are multi-talented and incredibly knowledgeable, there's a limit to the number of jobs that you should be able to handle at any given time to preserve efficiency. You might want to consider setting an artificial limit on the number of things you can concentrate on at one time. To begin, start with a tiny number and then increase it as you see fit. Number 2. Excessive promising is a bad thing. Your confidence is crucial, and you most certainly exude it in plenty at the moment. The temptation to make promises that are unreasonable in light of the resources you have available can be strong. On the other hand, this can be dangerous. It's feasible that you may be able to generate 3 times the number of apps that you normally do this month, but this will result in a fall in the worth of your assets. Don't commit to big-scale production unless you're convinced that the returns will more than offset the costs of doing business in enormous quantities. Keep in mind that development is done more slowly and steadily than you might expect at first. Number 3. Monotasking. If you found yourself nodding your head in agreement during the last paragraph, it's conceivable that you're an obsessive monotasker. When the tasks you're juggling are numerous and tough to handle, the Zen concept that we should only do one thing at a time is valid. The modern world, on the other hand, doesn't require the use of your entire or even the majority of your mental powers to complete a task. You should pay complete attention to it if you come across one that does. As a result, you may need to add another task or two to your list if you find yourself in this situation. Keep in mind that in order to reach your goals, you have to maintain a good mindset. So check in the description my number 1 recommendation that helps you obtain that sooner than you expected. Number 4. Holding up the development of the system. During the early stages of a new company's development, many decisions are made on the fly, and there are few parameters to stick to. That can be tremendously liberating, but if you want your enterprises to grow and prosper, you'll need to put in place management systems to ensure that they do so. You must walk away from your office and have your business continue to operate without interruption if you want to grow your company. In any business, it's never too early to begin developing management policies and leadership strategies for the organization's future. You can think of them as being analogous to the framework that'll be utilized to construct new branches for your organization. Number 5. Being overly fearful of taking risks. Nothing worthwhile happens unless there's a combination of risk and commitment, and it's important to recognize when one is more effective than the other in achieving results. Instead of avoiding risks, you can aim to put in regular, serious work consistently to compensate for your fear of taking chances. It goes without saying, there are more important vices to be concerned about in the grand scheme of matters. Failure to recognize the moments when the value of a particular task is at its most advantageous can, on the other hand, result in your company becoming non-competitive in the marketplace. Number 6. It's a severe problem when people fail to delegate. You will not be able to complete all of your responsibilities on your own time. Taking this into consideration in connection with our prior discussion of delaying system development, this is an essential aspect. Your personnel should be able to follow your directions consistently and unsupported, even when you're not present. While delegation does not indicate that you're in charge of every person and process, it does imply that you're in command of the majority of them. It compromises assigning duties to agents who will complete them on your behalf. As previously said, this is critical to scale the operations of your organization. To progress, you must distribute your work. Otherwise, you will stagnate. Number 7. Micromanaging. This is the exact opposite of delegating. It wears out your personnel, causes you to lose time, and makes you appear to be an incompetent dictator of the lowest kind. If you tend to do this, this could be a sign that you lack trust in your team's ability to execute the tasks assigned to them successfully. If you have a legitimate reason for feeling this way, it may be necessary to reduce some weight. If, on the other hand, your micromanaging is simply a nervous habit, you should seek professional help. As a result, you must confront the matter before you erupt into a fit of frenzied anger and drive everyone away. Number 8. The tendency to be reactive then proactive. In ancient Western movies, wasn't it true that the villain would shoot at the feet of the main character so that they would dance? When you just respond to your surroundings, you're enabling the environment to fire at you from all directions. You must avoid being shot to survive when bullets begin to fly your way, else you will perish instantly. Instead of simply waiting for issues to arrive at your door, you must take proactive measures to avoid them. If you don't take the initiative, it will be very easy for your competitors to knock you off your balance, making you a prime target for their attacks. Prepare yourself for obstacles in advance of their appearance. The same situation exists when it comes to opportunities. Before you can make significant investments, you must first set aside funds that will be available to invest when opportunities come. Number 9. Making the erroneous assumption that profit equals growth. Put another way, it's the equivalent of putting money under your bed and completely forgetting about it. Your company's growth will only be achieved via continuous reinvestment of its resources into it. Keeping money in one's bank account and not reinvesting it in one's firm does not constitute progress. Number 10. Workaholism. Remember what we said about the advantages of using omnitasks? Your physical health as well as your vigor and endurance are all affected in the same way. Our team understands that you're motivated. That's outstanding. The opposite is true. Investing in your most valuable capital, namely your well-being, is an investment in your most valuable capital asset. Take advantage of those well-deserved vacation days. Take a seat if you don't mind. Breathe. Take pride in the accomplishments you've earned as a result of your efforts. Bonus tip: working on your business rather than in your business should occupy the vast majority of an entrepreneur's time. Don't be fooled. Making excuses and complaining will not assist you in shifting your perspective to a more positive, solution-oriented frame of reference. Individuals and company owners who find themselves in situations where they must adapt should pretend that they're oblivious of their own identity and spend some time figuring out who they truly are, according to the experts. The ability to slow down their problem-solving minds to think more strategically is essential for entrepreneurs when considering the larger picture. Instead of listening to everyone, train yourself to rely on your instincts when it comes to making a few blunders now and then. If your new concept, product, or procedure outperforms the present one, you should get it in front of as many people as possible to demonstrate its superiority. When starting or updating your services, it's crucial not to get caught up in the chase of perfection at the expense of good enough. Individuals who find themselves falling victim to any of these fundamental human flaws should take hope, for you are not alone in your troubles. These are very frequent defects in people of all ages and backgrounds and detrimental to people in all professions and walks of life. regardless of their age or background. You've already done more than the typical person to assure your success and financial independence. Therefore, any more work you do to eradicate the negative behaviors outlined above will only serve to make you more competitive and more productive. That's an investment that will be well worth your time and effort. Alright, that would be enough. Thanks for watching. See you next time.